I'm milling about with Willie Nile. Hey, Willie, it's so good to see you.
To see you too, Robin. It's been a while. It's nice to see you.
I just have one question.
Yep.
Throughout this whole thing, how come your hair still looks so fantastic?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know I don't know how to answer that question.
And anyway, you look so good. You're celebrating 40 years. You beat me by 2 years. I have to catch up to you. I started in 82. You started in 1980.
Yeah, the first record came out in 1980, and it's hard to believe. And I'm grateful that I've been able to do it for as long as I have, and I'm having more fun now than I ever did. Putting out records almost every year now, and they're getting better and better. So I'm lucky. I'm still, knock on wood, I'm still in there.
Why do you think it's different now than it was when you first started out?
Well, there's a lot of things that are different. One thing is I have more experience now than I did back then, and so I'm a little more relaxed approaching all of it, and I'm more comfortable in the recording studio, more comfortable on stage. The years. The good thing about getting more experience and getting older is that you can keep learning and learn more. So I think I'm still learning, and it feels good.
One thing I love about you, Willie, is you are the most humble man in rock and roll,
Wow.
without a doubt.
Full of baloney is the next guy.
Where does that come from, do you think? Is it because you grew up in Buffalo with no heirs? Tell me, where do you think?
Think it's the family I grew up with. I was lucky. I was blessed with wonderful parents and seven brothers and sisters besides myself. It was eight of us. It was a big family. We had foreign exchange students every year from all over the globe. Really an interesting. I knew at the time it wasn't a normal American family. I mean, we had name a country, any country, all over Africa, India, Asia, Europe, and it was a really good experience. But my parents were really kind people, and with no pretense, and humility was something that they had. And I don't know if I'm not humble. I'm kind of full of it like anybody else. But I've kept my feet on the ground all these years. I remember early on, 1980 actually. Jimmy Iovine, I was talking to Jimmy about producing my first record, and he didn't do it when before the second record we were speaking. Maybe it was the second record we were talking, not the first. I met him both before both albums, and he made a comment. He looked at me kind of. He goes, "You haven't changed," because the first record got so much press around the world, it made so much noise, got a lot of attention. And I said, "Well, why would I change? It's still me," you know. And I just lucky with a good family. I think that's pretty much it.
Who was your favorite exchange student? Like from what country?
That's really hard. We would always fall in love with them. I mean, from 8 years old on. When I was 8 years old, we had Elena Sagatti came from Buenos Aires, stayed for a year. And when she left, we took her to the train station. We all gotten so close. She was a 16-year-old girl when she came, went to school, stayed with us, and we all cried for days. It was some experience. And students from France, Italy, Ireland. I remember Paula from Ireland came, and like I think 2 days after she came, a phone call came that her father had died. And the family had saved up the money to have her come over to the U.S. Maybe it was a couple of days in, and my father had to go upstairs and tell her, I got a call from your family, and if you want to go back, and she did not. She stayed, and I saw her actually a couple of years ago. I was in Dublin. I got to see her again after so many years, and oh, this is so many stories. One Christmas, I grew up in a Irish American Catholic family, and Christmas time, we would come downstairs in the middle of the night to look for presents under the Christmas tree. And one year, my sister and I were coming downstairs. We go through the living room, and there's a guy sleeping on a couch that wasn't there the night before, over 6 feet, dark skin. And we just kind of went, another visitor. We didn't even think anything of it. He ended up, someone in Chicago, family friends, gave him our address. My parents never locked the doors. And they go, oh, you go here to Buffalo, you can stay here. So he came here, stayed for 2 weeks. We all became good friends. He was from Egypt, Samir Samaika, I remember his name. But it was quite an extraordinary experience. So when you see people from different cultures and different hear languages, and well, we all learned a lot from it, that cosmopolitan upbringing. So I still kind of, my head's somewhat on my shoulders, let's put it that way.
Oh, what a great way to grow up. Now you have not one, but two new albums. You have this Uncovered album, which I love the title because it is basically covers of all your songs and tribute songs. Niels Lofgren's on there, Graham Parker, who actually played what I like to call Schneiderstock.
That's right. Graham played Jeff and Beth's.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He,
And Richard Barone, who also wound up doing a music video for the song Streets of New York. He loved it so much.
I got a phone call about a year or so ago from these guys from a label in Brooklyn saying that they were going to do a tribute album to me. And I was kind of taken aback, and I was embarrassed at first, you know, and I thought, well, why me? What's so special about me? And they you know, they sent me, I heard some of the songs that they were gathering, and they were just amazing. It was like 26 artists did 26 of my songs on this tribute record. And it's really humbling, but it's, after a few glasses of red wine, I got acclimated to it. And
Willie loves his red wine. Let's get that out there right now.
you know, I like wine with my meals, but the album's amazing. All these people did such really beautiful versions of my songs. And after 40 years, you look back and you go, oh, okay, that happened, you know. So I'm excited about it. I'm very deeply grateful for the efforts of all these other artists that did such beautiful versions of my songs. And I think it comes out like the 21st of August. So I'm thrilled about it, you know.
Well, nobody could play songs like you, Willie. So I want to ask you to play a couple of songs. You're sitting there with your guitar, so let's take advantage. How about, let's start with Life on Bleecker Street. But before we do, tell me what inspired the song.
Well, I live in New York City, you know, and it's the first line is I live in the basement of a building. I actually live on the top floor. I'm in Greenwich Village right now, and out my window, Bleecker Street's right down there. I can see it. And over the years, you know, walking so many years, so many miles, you know, seeing so many people, it just came to me one day, you know, I live on I put basement because it sounded better lyrically than I live on a rooftop. I live in the basement of a building. You see the rich, the poor, the homeless, movie stars, whatnot. I mean, the people I've seen walking down Bleecker Street, from Dolphin, who's a homeless guy from Peru, who's on the cover, one of the guys on the cover of Children of Paradise, a record I put out 2 years ago. And I know him, he says hello, and to Bob Dylan, to, I mean, all kinds of people. It's just fascinating. It's an interesting street. It's full of energy. And I just thought, wow, it was a wild world. And Bleecker Street kind of crystallized at one point, and this song came to be.
Okie doke, let's hear it.
Can you hear me okay?
Sounding good.
All right. So this is Life on Bleecker Street. It's early in the morning. I'll do my best. I live in the basement of a building, in a building on a street in this town, in a building on a street in a neighborhood complete with garbage and the sun going down. I work for a rich man at a desk with a pencil in the rear. 5 days a week, I barely get to speak. Watch the future slowly disappear. Cause this is life on Bleecker Street. The tourists shuffle to a boombox beat. Old men sit, stare at their feet. This is the life on Bleecker Street. Ooh, 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 ooh. The owner of the deli is a yes ma'am. He ogles all the women going by. He tries to be discreet from his window on the street. He's a how you doing honey kind of guy. People talk revolution in the cafe. They debate right and wrong while they drank. There are buses, there are cars, shiny movie stars, stopping on and standing on the brain. Cause this is a life on Bleecker Street, where tourists shuffle to a boombox beat. Old men sit, stare at their feet. This is a life on Bleecker Street. Ooh, 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 all kinds of people come from who knows where. All kinds of people. Who knows how much they care? Who knows how much? The lady with the jewels in the Nikon wants to motor photograph another souvenir. She's looking for a sexy New York icon to prove to someone she was really here. I'm meeting my baby on the Bowery, in the dark on the Lower East Side. In a city made of stone, we can finally be alone. I hold her in my arms and we can ride. Cause this is life on Bleecker Street, where tourists shuffle to a boombox beat. Old men sit, stare at their feet. This is life on Bleecker Street. This is life on Bleecker Street. This is life on Bleecker.
Beautiful. I wanted to dance.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Yeah, I
That's
love
a
that
fun
song.
one.
It epitomizes my so many years here, and yeah, these are good days. These are glory days for me. I'm enjoying it more than ever. I love the city. Uh, New York during COVID, fascinating, fascinating.
How have you been getting by?
Well, I'm knocking on wood. I'm doing all right. I was riding my bike for a couple times a week. I haven't in the last month because it's been so hot and I've been busy. But I get out, go to the store. I wear a mask. I wear gloves. I try to be vigilant. I'm isolating here as best I can. I don't want to get this thing.
Yeah,
And I've lost a few friends, and
sorry.
so it's serious stuff. But walking the streets. I mean, there was times when I could have laid down on Sixth Avenue, and no cars. I crossed Broadway a couple times, and I looked up and down, north and south, and I saw like three cars, like the Holland Tunnel on a Friday night. Normally, it's like you could be an hour to go 5 blocks, one car. It's fascinating. And the empty streets, it's still alive for me, even though with the gentrification of the city, there's still a spirit, an energy. The ghosts of the buildings still speak to me. I love it more than ever.
Have you been inspired to write more during this time?
Oh, I've been writing. I'm always writing, but I've written some things. I got about half a new album written, and I don't say that lightly. I don't go in to make records unless I really believe the songs are worth recording. I don't want to waste my time or anybody else's time. And when we made New York is Rockin', or New York at Night, I'll play that later, but that's the title track. Yeah, I'll save the story for later on that. But yeah, I've been writing. I could go in and make another record right now. I've got enough songs. But I'm constantly writing. I mean, there's so much going on. This is a wild world we live in.
Yeah, anything in particular that is specifically inspired by these times, what's going on?
Oh yeah, for sure. One of the songs, which could be the title track of the next record, which I don't want to talk about because I want to just let it when the time is right. I want to record it first and see how it goes. But it's just directly about this whole experience and driving down Fifth Avenue in a taxi, seeing so many shops, everything boarded up. So everything, nearly fascinating to see. and I got a pretty strong song out of it. And hopefully, the country can get its stuff together where, other countries have done a pretty good job of keeping the levels down and the death rate down. The United States, this great country that ours, it's just like a clown show, and hopefully it can get its stuff together and we can get through this and a vaccine can come along. And there's a lot of hardship going on with a lot of people. So I sympathize, empathize with that, and I hope for the best. Fascinating times.
It is, absolutely is.
Yeah.
And so from New York to Paris, you have a wonderful song called Les Champs-Élysées. So talk about that, and then I'd love you to play it for us.
Thank you. Interesting. Elliot Murphy did a beautiful job. He sang that on the tribute record, and that's one of those songs that was inspired by all the foreign exchange students.
Ah,
Wrote that song in 1980 and had not been to Paris. But one of the we had two French students, one from Lille and one from Dunkirk, famous spot from World War II. And one of the, Francis Guggenheim, his mother, I'm not sure it was Pierre Don, one of the parents got a subscription to Realities magazine, a French magazine. It was all in French, but had great photographs. And so I would read that out, look at the photographs. And I wrote a song about the Champs-Élysées. I was a philosophy major at the University of Buffalo. Anyway, this song, I used to, when I played this at Kenny's Castaways in the old days, I would say that this song attempts to answer the philosophical question, huh? Anyway, this is Les Champs-Élysées. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I saw wait. 1, 2, got it. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I saw a pretty baby, she was coming my way. I says, hey baby, do you want to do the twist? She said, no man, I was really pissed. Champs-Élysées, take me away. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I thought I'd take a seat at a Parisian cafe. I said, mademoiselle, do you want to do the twist? She said, no, you don't know what you missed. Champs-Élysées, take me away. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I went to Versailles, I went to Verdun, climbed the Eiffel Tower in the midday sun. I saw Notre Dame, I went to the Louvre. I couldn't find nobody that wanted to groove. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I saw a policeman was coming my way. I said, Mon General, twist, s'il vous plaît. He said, take a little walk out down the Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées, take me away. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées, yeah. Guitar solo there. Then it continues. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées, past the flower shop, the bistros, and the cabaret. I finally made my way up to the Arc de Triomphe. Man, I really had it, I had enough. I was so tired, my eyes nearly missed a pretty little baby who was doing the twist. Champs-Élysées, take me away. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. I went to Versailles, I went to Verdun, climbed the Eiffel Tower in the midday sun. I had a conversation with Jean-Paul Sartre. Couldn't find a girl, it was breaking my heart. So if you're ever traveling down the Parisian way, take a little walk on down the Champs-Élysées. You might not find out why we all exist, but if you get lucky, you might get the twist. Yeah. Champs-Élysées, take me away. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées, take me away. I was out walking down the Champs-Élysées.
that was a fake ending. You got me there.
That was actually an ending I forgot, but yeah, Champs-Élysées. So I went in 1980, after the album came out, I went to Europe and did an interview, tour all around Europe, no shows, just interviews. It was fascinating. And I went with my drummer, J.D. Doherty, and we just basically drank our way across Europe and had an absolute blast. And we got to Paris, went to the Champs-Élysées, and stood in the middle of it. Actually, we're walking down the Champs-Élysées, and all of a sudden, maybe, I don't know, 15 blocks down, we hear all this noise, and all of a sudden, around the corner comes this huge protest march. There were like thousands. People in the front carrying flags. It was a real righteous, somebody was angry about something. And JD says to me, and they start coming up towards us, and they were like, it was like how many lanes of traffic across, full of people, thousands. So JD says, go in front and pretend like you're leading the parade. And I went, all right. So I was a couple of blocks in front of them. So I got up and I start going, and he's taking pictures. All of a sudden, these guys start taking off after us. We hightailed it out of there. We got away, but they were pissed off. Yeah, and he can't find the photos. I would love to see that photo of the Champs-Élysées, but yeah.
I would love to see that too. I would love to see people chasing after you, Willie, in the streets of Paris. That must have been pretty crazy.
But they were protesting something. Somebody was dying somewhere, and some rights were being trampled on, and I was about to be trampled on, but we got out of there.
You made it. What I love about your songs are the hooks. I don't think there's anybody on the planet that could write a hook like you. I mean,
oh, thank you.
It's so cool. So do you think ahead of time when you're writing, like, I'm going to do the na-nas here, and then I'm going to do hey na-na there, and the woo-hoos there?
Really? I think I just write the songs as they come to me. And I grew up with listening to the radio, 50s, 60s, I was a kid in the 50s, and my older brothers had the radio on, so I caught all the early rock and roll stuff as a kid, little boy. Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley, Little Richard, Jerry Lee Lewis, all that great stuff, Buddy Holly. And I love music, and the songs come the way they come. I remember when I wrote One Guitar. I'll play that later. When I wrote that with my buddy Frankie Lee, it took us about 20 minutes to write it. And I said, you know what? We could do na-nas at the beginning and in the middle. Might be kind of cool. Might be a good chant for a live show. And it turned out to be true. It just depends on the song. I don't plan anything out. The songs just come. I write them down. And yeah.
Well, actually, there's a song called Doors of Paradise, and I listened to it again recently, and it sort of harkens back to the na-nas.
Yeah, I wrote that with Frankie. Hey, na, 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 na. Hey, na, na. I got a call from a friend of mine in Halifax, Nova Scotia, 2 days ago, or a text message saying that he was at a restaurant, and Doors of Paradise came on the radio at the restaurant. And that's just, I'll never get over the unique and strangeness of that, uniqueness that you write a song in a room, here I am on my couch, and next thing you know, it's on the radio in Halifax, Nova Scotia. But yeah, the na-nas, it depends on the song. Sometimes they can really work, but I like choruses, I like anthemic things, but I write all kinds of stuff. Not everything is a big anthem,
Yeah, but it just gets the crowd going, and they just love to sing along with you. And that's like, if you've never been to a Willie Nile concert, go.
I'm blessed. I've always had really strong bands. I've got a great band, and we have a great time. We're playing a show, this coming Saturday night. We got a show, outdoor show in New Jersey, believe it or not. I've had tours canceled in Spain, Italy. They were moved to November. Those got canceled. Now they're scheduled for next year. But yeah, the band. I've been blessed with great bands, and we have a good time when we play live. So if anybody sees us playing in your neighborhood, I dare you to come by and not have a good time.
Yes, ditto to that. Okay, so let's play another song. Looking for Someone.
Looking for Someone is a particularly poignant song for me. I wrote it with my friend Andrew Dorff. Andrew Dorff was
Stephen's older brother, right?
Younger brother. Stephen.
Oh, younger. Okay.
I met Andrew when he was 20 years old, and we were friends for 20 years, and he moved to Nashville. He made a record, moved to Nashville, and became a songwriter. And after 10 years of there working in the trenches, writing 5 days a week, very good work ethic. And we just always laugh. To go to the grocery store with Andrew and I, we should have charged admission because we always laughed and had a ball. And I would go to Nashville every 4 months or so to write with Andrew. He wrote 5 #1 songs in 18 months. After the 10 years, he started to get covers, and people discovered that there was this genius. He's brilliant, really shy guy, unique. And I went down November, I think it was, it might be 2016, I think it was. He had maybe it could have been 17, I can't remember, but he was getting an award, a #1 award for a Kenny Chesney song called Save It for a Rainy Day. He had 2 #1 songs in one summer, that summer before, with Blake Shelton, Neon Light, and I think it's My Eyes. He had 5 #1s, and I went down there. He wanted me to go with him to the BMI Awards, where they honored him. It was fascinating. And that night, we went back to his house, and we were hanging out. He was smoking a cigar. We were drinking wine, and I said I had a song idea, and we wrote this song. And 3 weeks after we wrote it, I went back to New York, and he went to Turks and Caicos on vacation to celebrate, by himself. And he drowned in 24 hours of getting there. And it's something I'll never get over. Anybody who knew Andrew and how special, how kind, and how brilliant. There's some lines in this song. We wrote this. I said, I got an idea for a song. And I went, there's an uptown girl in a downtown bar. And right away he goes, if there's a man on the moon, is there a woman on the star? The whole song went that way. I'd say something, he'd say something. And there's all the best lines are Andrew lines, and right on the spot. Anyway, this is called Looking for Someone, written by myself and the great Andrew Dorff. There's an uptown girl in a downtown bar. If there's a man on the moon, is there a woman on the star? There's cars on the sidewalks, people in the streets. Does anybody know what love really means? There's a bottle of whiskey on a window ledge. I wanna be a painting, I don't wanna be a sketch. I look into the future, but I'm staring at the past. Does anybody know if love really lasts? I'm looking for someone who will take me as I am. I'm looking for someone who is aching to be free, whose dreams are on the run, but still always gives a damn. I'm looking for someone who is breaking just like me. There's a teardrop falling on the county line, but I can't tell if it's yours or mine. There's a green stop sign where everybody goes. Does anybody know if anybody knows? I'm looking for someone who will take me as I am. I'm looking for someone who is aching to be free, whose dreams are on the run, but still always gives a damn. I'm looking for someone who is breaking just like me. There's a Sunday morning on a Saturday night. There's a preacher serving drinks in the neon light. God's playing drums and the devil's on guitar. Does anybody know how to heal a broken heart? I'm looking for someone who will take me as I am. I'm looking for someone who is aching to be free, whose dreams are on but still always gives a damn. I'm looking for someone who is aching, shaking, breaking, just like me.
Beautiful. I think Andrew is listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A huge loss. You know, it's a huge loss. I'll miss him all my days. And I went to Los Angeles for the funeral service for Andrew. And the ripples across country music were really felt the deep because he was raising the bar. He had such a great gift for lyrics and songwriting that it was a big loss. Anyway, God bless Andrew. Hope he's listening. Hey, Andrew, talking about you down here, buddy. Yeah, yeah.
Has anybody ever approached you, Willie, to write a song for a soundtrack for a film? Because you would be perfect for something like that.
Thanks, Robin. You know, yeah. Well, I wrote. I almost had. We were really close to two. You know, we probably would have gotten Oscars for both. The movie Rain Man. Producer, a good friend of mine. He signed me to Columbia Records. Rick Chertoff. He contacted me and he said, "There's this movie that's going to be made called Rain Man. It's going to star Jack Nicholson and Dustin Hoffman and be directed by Steven Spielberg." And then Spielberg had to leave to do Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Nicholson, whatever, it took a while to get. Anyway, it ended up was going to be directed by Sidney Pollack with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. And we told me the story, and he had this piece of music, and I wrote lyrics to it. And it was a beautiful song, Rain Man, take me dancing like a ballerina around the sun. And if I cry, remind me that there comes a time for everyone. Rain Man, come and wash my tears away. It's a beautiful piece of music that it went with. And Sidney Pollack heard it, and the head of Universal Pictures heard it, go, well, there's our Oscar. Great, there's our song. And I don't know what it was, but Sidney Pollack didn't get along with Dustin Hoffman, and he left the picture. And they brought in great director, the guy that did the film. He did Diner, Barry Levinson.
Right.
And they actually flew Rick to see some of the shooting. He was there for a couple of days. And it was in the movie, and at the last minute, they go, oh, we don't want a song with the title in it. So that was out. We would have clearly won the Oscar that year. And another one was Scorsese. I had a song I wrote called If I Was a River. And I had sent some songs to Disney for a picture, and there was interest. And then I sent another tape with the song If I Was a River on it, and I get this call back, oh, this song is great. We want it for this movie. It's going to be the most expensive Disney movie called Pearl Harbor. You know, it was a lousy film, but they were all excited. And on a whim, I sent it to Bono, you know, and just on a whim. And a week later, I get this text message, I want to do this. I want you two to do it. I want Dan Lanois to produce it. And it was that the timing was bad. They had a new tour coming out. They had a song in an Angelina Jolie movie on another label, and the timing was wrong, so it never happened. And so, yeah, I'm still here if anybody wants a song for a film. I can, yeah, I love writing songs, and I love movies, so those were two instances where we came pretty close to having some major success with it. But, you know, I think the moral of the story is that you just do the best you can, keep putting it out there. That's it. You put one foot in front of the other, you put your best foot forward, do the best work you can, mean it, and maybe it strikes a chord somewhere. Maybe it inspires somebody. So I'm still doing that.
I think New York at Night would be a great theme song for a Woody Allen movie.
Ooh, that'd be nice. I'd like that. You know, this song, I'll tell you a story. So this is the title song of the new album I just put out called New York at Night, which I'm thrilled about. It's been getting really great reaction, great reviews. Last summer, I had a collection of songs that I thought this will make a good album, I think. And went up to last summer on a hot Friday night. I went to the Iridium, Les Paul's club north of Times Square. Went to see a show by myself. Can't remember what show it was. Came out 10:30 at night, walking through Times Square, go to the subway to head down to the Village. And I was pretty relaxed. And walking down the subway stairs, I felt it was in a good mood. It was fairly crowded, New York Friday night. Coming down the subway stairs, train pulls in the station. The door is open at the back of this one car. I walk towards it and I see on the bottom, right by the open door, a can of whipped cream, a tall can of Ready Whip, and like in the way, and right by a guy's foot. Well, the closer I got, I realized the guy's foot and his leg calves and his thigh, were 2 inches. He was covered with whipped cream. Both of his legs, his feet, covered 2 inches of whipped cream. And I didn't look. I dare not look. I don't know what's going on over here, but I think I'll mind my own business. It was a semi-packed car. New Yorkers on the train. Everybody, like, everything's normal. There's a guy in the corner covered in whipped cream. Other than that, everything's normal. So I went to the other end of the car because it was a seat. I couldn't see back there. I thought, what the? And I just laughed. I thought, wow, a New York moment. Get out of the subway, Friday night, 11:15, come upstairs at West 4th Street. And it's a New York night. There's tourists, there's college kids partying, there's homeless people with their hands out. There's black limousines in front of a Blue Note. And I thought, wow, New York at night. And it hit me right away. I go, that's a song. And I live about 2 blocks from the subway station. So I started writing this as I was walking home, got upstairs, picked my guitar up and wrote it. And so the second verse, I went into the subway and it felt just like a dream. I saw a fella going by covered in whipped cream. It's true. Anyway, this is a celebration of New York City. And anyway, New York at Night, title track of the new record, which I'm so excited about. There's a hound dog howling at 53rd and Park. There's a cop car prowling in the 80s after dark. There's a red light blinking on 42nd Street. A party going on, you can hear the heartbeat. New York night, New York night. Everything's alright, 'cause it's New York night. Take a bite, New York night. I went into the subway and it felt just like a dream. Saw a fella going by covered in whipped cream. Take a train to Grand Central on an overcrowded bus. There's room on any corner for every one of us. New York night, New York night. Come on, see the light, 'cause it's New York night. Take a bite, New York night, yeah. Electricity is flowing when the sun goes down. There are joints that are jumping all over this town. The city calls out like a freedom song. You're feeling blue, you won't be for long. New York night, New York night. Everything's alright. It's New York night. Take a bite, New York night. Yeah, come on, people. Down, 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 solo. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down, down, down. There's a rave going down on the Upper West Side. There's a taxi uptown that'll take you for a ride. It's technicolor in black and white. And when you're out on the streets of the city at night, New York night, New York night. Come on, see the light. It's New York night. Take a bite, New York night. Yeah, come on, people. New York night, New York night. Everything's alright, 'cause it's New York night. Take a bite of New York, see the light in New York. It's alright, New York night, yeah.
I wish I had a tambourine. I would have gone through it.
Thanks, Rod. Thank you.
That's a fun song. We're going to fast forward because we have a little bit more time. I love how Johnny Pisano, your guitar player, bass player extraordinaire, turned one guitar into this like reggae groove.
Johnny called me up. He surprised me. He did a recording of one guitar, but he did a reggae version, so he called it One Guitar Man. And he asked me to come out and sing on it. I did, and it was really fun. It's the beauty of music and playing with people like Johnny, who's a great guy, a great bass player, a great singer, and the other musicians in my band are that you can have a lot of fun. It's the idea, music. That's a joy to be able to play and sing and make music with your friends and your fellow musicians. And that was a case where Johnny did a great version of One Guitar Man. It's on the tribute record, Uncovered. Yeah, it's on that record, and yeah,
Who
proud.
were the people in the music video doing the nanas? They looked like somebody's parents.
I can't remember. It was
Wow, Johnny.
I can't remember whatever cast of characters he assembled. Yeah, I can't remember. It must have been somebody's parents.
So why don't you take us out with one guitar, Willie? And it was just such a wonderful experience being with you.
Thank
And I love you to death. You're the greatest.
It's nice to see you. It's been a while, and I was looking forward to seeing you and chatting with you and catching up a little bit. And thanks for having me and for your kind words. Much appreciated. And it's good to see you. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you soon when this thing blows over.
Oh, yeah. Better times to come, absolutely.
Better times to come. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're down, but we're not out. And we will rock again. So look forward to that, Robin. This is New York. This is called One Guitar. Na 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 na. It is the middle of the night, right in the middle of the street. It could be uptown, downtown, but I can feel that beat. There is a marching drum, there is a song unsung. It could be my dream, your dream, it's not the only one. I'm a soldier marching in an army, got no gun to shoot, but what I got is a one guitar. I got this one guitar. I see the rising smoke, I hear a heartbreak joke. Hail my brother, sister, I think it's time we spoke. I've only got 6 strings, but like a bell they ring. It's like a jet plane, insane, crashing in my brain. Yeah, I'm a soldier marching in an army, got no gun to shoot, but what I got is a one guitar. I got this one guitar, and it goes na 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 na. So if you get knocked down, you gotta take a stand for all the outcasts dead last who need a helping hand. So get your tambourine, turn your amps up loud, raise your voices up above this crowd. Come on, everybody. I'm a soldier marching in an army. Got no gun to shoot, but what I got is a one guitar. I got this one guitar. Yeah, louder. I'm a soldier marching in an army. I got no gun to shoot, what I got is a one guitar. Ooh, yes, I got this one guitar. And it goes na 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 na. Ooh yeah.
Right. Willie Nile, you rock.
Thank you, Robin. So do you, girl. Thank you. Stay healthy. Take good care of yourself, and hope to see you sooner than later.
You too. Take good care, Willie.
Here, all the best.
Always news. Always refreshing. Always candid. Always milling about. Robin Milling delivers what celebrities are saying to you.